I got a song out today. You should listen to it. It's on Bandcamp. It's called Caffeinated. And what did I do when I made it? I drank a lot of coffee. So go listen to it. We're going to do a reason rundown, which is where I take you through the reason session for one of my pieces of music. Today's piece of music is called Caffeinated. It's out today. I'm excited. I haven't released some music since last summer, so I am super excited to have some stuff out again. Go listen to it. It's $1 on Bandcamp. It's Bandcamp Friday today, so it'll help me out. So Bandcamp Friday means that Bandcamp isn't taking their normal 10% of your profits that they normally take for selling stuff on their website. So I get everything. It's $1. It'll help me out. Go check it out. It'll be on Spotify, Tidal, iTunes, Apple Music, all that fun stuff later. I sent it to CD Baby. They're processing it. So whenever that's out, I'll let you know. I'm excited. So we're going through the reason session. I'm going to talk about how I made all of the different instruments, what I used to make some of the glitch sounds and make some of the beat, and some little bits of theory stuff that I thought about and used while writing a piece of music. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so here we are in Reason. I got a cup of iced coffee here. So as we go through Caffeinated, I'm getting caffeinated. So let's take a listen to the song from the beginning, get an idea of how everything sounds, what we all got. So let's straight to the beginning, play. Let's hear it. All right, there we go. That's what we got. So let's start with the instruments. So This is all of them. We can start from the top. This top track is raw recording. That means this is the raw, unedited one take thing of me playing stuff on piano. Basically, this song started with I made this beat right here, and then I wanted to add some stuff on top of it. So I turned on my keyboard and I improvised some stuff while I looped it. And what I ended up recording was all of this stuff right here. So originally I probably had this beat moved over so that it started right here, and then just played through so that I was noodling around improvising on piano. And then I cut it all up because this thing as a whole, I didn't want to just use it, the raw recording. I wanted to use it and make something else out of it. So I got this material, cut it up, and then that's what we started with. It's muted. You'll notice over here, M thing, it's muted because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the raw one, but I do want to keep it as one take so that if I needed to, when I was putting this together, if I needed to add something else over here, or I wanted to create another line or something, I could do that. So top one is piano. We'll take a listen to it. That's just this. It's just this like little extra line that I put together, and a little cheat that I did. These aren't the same take. I didn't play this part together, right? You could hear it if I play it like that. You could hear it kind of skips a little bit. I didn't play those right after each other. Those are two different pieces of the raw recording. Okay, next one, piano copy. So this is another thing I played. It's just chords in the middle. That's it. Another piano take. I'm pretty sure they have the same effects, which we'll get into. All right, reverb. That's what this one's called. I like to mess around while I'm naming stuff to make it a little more fun. So this one is reverb, and then we have reverb reverse, reverb 8VA, so octave left, octave right. So this is just, as you could probably hear in the beginning, it's just a recording of piano with lots of reverb, lots of delay. Right, it sounds kind of like it's edited a whole lot. I really like the music of Alva Noto and Ryuichi Sakamoto, and this is something Ryuichi Sakamoto does a lot with his pianos, so I wanted to try it myself. Reverb, this is basically the same effects, but different part and reversed. So, yeah, cool. Next part is reverb 8VA. So all that means is 8VA is octava, which means it's up an octave. So if we look at this up here in the transpose, there's nothing. But if we look at this one up in the transpose, ooh, maybe I bounced it live, huh? But it's up an octave from this other stuff. So let's listen to here. Yeah. And with the other layer, lower layer. Yeah. I like doing that a lot because it makes something sound a lot more full if you double it and make it up an octave. This is just automation. It's just a low pass filter opening up. Same thing over here. Let's go to the next one. We got electric piano, left, right, electric piano, left, octava, electric piano, right, octava. Great. Electric piano, L, reverse, electric piano, R, reverse. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of electric pianos. These two are the main ones. I played this. There's a patch on my keyboard that I like that's this really soft electric piano sound, so I wanted to add that to give it some like harmonic backdrop. Let's take a listen to just that. Just straight solid chords, right? I'm pretty sure it's a E major 7 and a G minor 7 over D. I think that's all it is. And then same thing, I added this extra layer, which is this same thing, but up an octave, which in Reason is super easy. Go up to this transpose thing, hit 12.00, that'll be up an octave because it's 12 semitones that you're transposing it up. All right, next thing is these little things. So this is left and right. The way I like to pan these sort of pad style stuff in my music is I like to have them either slightly left, slightly right, or like hard left, hard right, so that you have this fuller sound that sort of like engulfs you and surrounds you as you're listening to it, with a low pass filter so that it slowly opens up this 8VA layer, right? If we start here, less 8VA, but if we go here, we have that more of that higher layer. All right, next thing is reverse. So this is used once. I use it as a transition right here. It's just a chord, but I reversed it so that it transitions better. That's it. With some sidechain compression and this reverse sound, I think it sounds really nice as a transition. Next thing, bass. I wanted the bass. I actually had a time with the bass on this. I'm gonna be honest. It was a little. It was a little. This was. I wanted to get this really heavy bass sound like Edit and Wale often have in their music. So this is the bass. It's doing something simple here, really low, kind of heavy, and then I add in some lines in the middle, right? Pretty simple. We'll go into how I made that sound and everything. Next one. So for percussion layers, I like to do a number of different ones, especially with stuff like this that, I mean, I love making glitchy music. This song was inspired a lot by Edit. He's a producer that makes music with Glitch Mob, and he has his own stuff. One of the things I really like about his music is he's got this, a lot of his music has lots of glitchy layers. So I have 3 layers: percussion, glitches, and then bass drum and snare. So this is just glitches, right? And then it adds bass drum and part of the percussion. So I like to divide it into all of these lanes, which if you don't use Reason, you press comma and it adds all these layers. I like doing it because it's makes it easier to control. As you can see here, some of them I have, some of them I cut out and add other ones. Sometimes I have all of them. I like having that amount of control with it because I think it just makes it easier to like put everything out into a full track once you have this everything separated like that. So okay, so I have percussion. Glitches are just this, right? Like the the weird sounds. And then I have percussion, which is right here. I mean, still kind of weird, but a little more standard electronic percussion sounds. And then bottom is just drum bass. Like it's just like an 808 and an 808 snare and an 808 bass drum. And last one is reverse. It's just a reverse snare. I take, every time I do this, I literally export or bounce in place to the snare sound that I'm using in the song, because I want it to be related, right? I want it to sound like it's part of that song. There you go. So one other thing to add is the reason I have all of these isn't just because I do like controlling it. I do, but also I play almost all of this stuff in. So this piano at some point was played. These were all played on my piano. This bass was also played in. It's why it's not super perfect. It's not super quantized. If we look at it in terms of eighth notes, it's definitely not super quantized. Same thing with all of these drums. Almost all of them I played in some way. So I have a couple controllers here that I like using with pads on them. And I like the human feel of it, because if you just type everything in, it'll still sound cool, but it won't sound human. It won't sound as if somebody played if you don't play it in, which is like, duh. But I like that human sound, so I try and put that in. Even if it is computerized sounds, I like it to feel human and in some way feel organic, and I think as if it was performed. So I think that gets that sound what I want, that human sound. It's the only way I've found to do it, so I play everything in, which can kind of be a pain, but I enjoy it. And you know, if you're putting together a song, you gotta figure out what everything is anyway, so I kind of like improvising and messing around with it. That's it. Those are all the instruments. Let's get into how I made them. here are all the instruments. We're going to start in, honestly, whatever order I have them in. I normally try and keep this part of the track incredibly organized. This one I did not. Okay, let's take a look, though. So top one is the percussion layer. This is, it looks like it's just a Kong like a Kong preset. I'm not a big fan of using presets, but that's what it looks like this is. Yeah. These are all these sounds that say Castle, right? Castle 6, Castle 25, Castle 8 are from a sample pack from Andrew Huang. Highly recommend you check it out. It's called Castle Sample Pack, I think. I think it's just called that. It's a great sample pack. I like the sounds. It's really glitchy. So that's it for percussion, honestly. Not much is edited, just a compressor. Next one, glitches. So these are the stranger sounds. All of them are from the Kong or from the Castle sample pack. Castle sample pack is what it's called. I have a number of Andrew Huang sample packs. I really like them. They're also pretty cheap, and they have a ton of sounds. So if you have some extra money and you want some extra interesting sounds, check out his sample packs. They're dope. Next one, bass drum plus snare. So this one I think is pretty simple. It's just, so it's just an 808 and a 909 layered plus 606 snare plus an 808 snare layered into here and then through a compressor. So the way I'm doing the side chaining here is I have a bus where everything goes through. So I have a side chain bus, which let's take a look at that. That's down at the bottom here. So side chain bus, this is the input from the bass drum. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this bass drum sound, and then the outputs are changed. So one of them goes to this output over here, output 3-4, which goes into the spider thing, duplicated, so it goes back into a mixer, and then this has all of it, right? It has the snare and other sounds put together into a compressor. This thing doubles it so that it can go down to this sidechain bus down here. Now, I have found an even better way of doing it than this, where I don't even do this. I just use one of the aux sends over here. Aux send out. It's a little easier, but I made this song, last summer? So I hadn't thought of that yet. But that's what we got. Next one, reverse. It's just the bounce. No added effects. Nothing on it. Okay, low synth, I don't think I made anything there. High synth, I didn't make anything. I didn't use it. Bass, let's see what I did for the bass sound. So bass sound is, it looks like, it's in Thor. Love Thor. The way I normally make my synths is I use Thor and I reset it. So right click, reset device. I love doing that because then it gives you all of the control and you're starting from scratch, which I really like doing because it makes me feel better about my music. I also like having the control and knowing how to make a specific sound. So let's take a look. We got sine wave, sawtooth wave, square wave. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm guessing it's, let's see, is the sine wave an octave lower? No, it's not. Okay, it's just really low anyways. Into this low pass filter, into another comb filter, and then out. No delay, no chorus. It's pretty simple sound, honestly. This thing though, so this edits it slightly. So it's the key velocity when you play it is controlling some of the filter 1 frequency. I like that because it adds this extra little bit of it adds a little bit of a more interesting sound. So it's not just this one boom, boop, boop, boop. It's not just that. It has some other effects on it. And then into a compressor, I'm dialing back some of the low end. I had a time with this because I wanted it to sound big, but it kept sounding boomy, and I'm still working on making it sound a little better, making bass sound a little better in future songs. Okay, piano. Let's see, what are we doing? This is an EQ on the piano. That's it. This is the EQ, pretty simple, rolling off some high end, getting rid of almost all the low end, and boosting some of that 200 hertz range just to give it some more fullness. Next one, piano, I'm guessing is the exact same. Yeah, so these are both basically the same. And next thing, reverb. Okay, so this is the piano track with lots of reverb and lots of delay. So let's see, how did I do it? Well, all church pulpit. Okay, so this is Reason's standard reverb plugin. I like using it because it's super simple. Also, I am not super picky about my reverbs. I also add reverb at the end. So yeah, I use that just to add a whole ton of reverb. Look at the decay is way up. So, and it's a lot of the wet sound. So dry wet means dry is no reverb, no effect. Wet is full effect. So it's quite a lot of both. Then it goes into this amp, which adds a little bit of distortion, makes it sound sort of like it's coming out of an old school radio a little bit, and then some delay. That's basically it. Into compressor. And reverb, let's see, what is this? Reverb reverse, identical. Yup. And reverb APA, identical again. And except this one has a filter. And then next one, ooh, look at this. I'm guessing this is also identical with a filter. And then, so those are the pianos. And there's a bus for all of these, so I can control the volume and with everything. Okay, electric pianos. Let's see. So it doesn't look like these have anything on them. These are the raw sound from me playing it on piano. This is the raw recording of my piano keyboard, which is you could tell why I like that sound. It sounds awesome, right? And then electric piano left 8VA has some delay, a filter, and a compressor to make it a little more controlled. And something I like doing with left and right channels, especially higher octaves, or higher frequency stuff, is look at this right here. The delay is 4. This delay is 3. I like changing it up slightly between the left and right channel because then you get a true stereo image. If you just copy and paste one sound and then pan it hard left, hard right, you're not going to get much of it's not going to, it'll sound stereo, but it won't sound the same if you have one that's slightly different on each side, slightly, right? Slightly. Then you'll have this fuller sound and it'll sound more stereo in a way because you're hearing basically two different things. So it's something people do with guitar a lot, is you'll record guitar twice and then pan it hard left, hard right. Sometimes people put it in the center if they want 3 guitars. And then last one, electric piano reverse, electric piano bus, sidechain bus. That's the instruments. That's it. Not a whole lot, honestly. The production in this is not the most extreme. And then let's check out the mixer. So what do we got? All of these are really low because higher stuff, especially the reverby stuff, is probably going to stand out a little bit more. And as you can tell, left, right, pianos, hard left, hard right, right up here in the panning. And again, hard left, hard right for the octave in the reverse. And bass, percussion, glitches, reverses, sidechain bus, all that fun stuff. That's it. Not too complicated. Some theory stuff that's going on in the song is it's mostly an E flat, and it's got some piano solo on top. It's basically just a 2-bar loop over and over and over again. The bass is playing around with some tones, and in the middle we got an A flat chord progression. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, it's just A flat, major 7 or major 9. G minor 7, F minor 7, and C minor 7. There's probably 9s in a lot of them. I like adding those on piano. Ooh, no. That's not, that might be an E flat, either E flat 6 or E flat major 7, not G minor 7. F minor 9. And then sounds like a standard C minor 7. Okay, so yeah, what is that? 1. I don't know. For Roman numerals, one. Well, it's a modal chord progression, but like one, uh, five major seven over in first inversion, six minor nine, and then three minor seven. The original one's just E flat, major seven, G minor seven. So it's one and then one major seven and then three minor seven. But three minor seven in second inversion. So you have this. Right, it has this different, more relaxed sound than if you just played E flat to G minor seven. Yeah, not a whole lot. Honestly, this stuff is the fancy stuff. The production stuff is the fancy stuff. The form of it is, as you can see, A, B, A. Simple forms. I like doing that a lot because I think it's a nice form to follow. It's an easy form to think about, an easy form to write in. And if you're making loop-based music, it's an easy format or a form of music to put stuff into, right? This rounded binary thing where you have this A section, B, and then the A section comes back. One thing I do like doing when I write music is kind of making them somewhat proportional. So this is kind of an intro, right? We have this section here as a kind of an intro into the song. This to me is the A section, and then this B section is the exact same length. And then at the end, here's where it gets a little different, where it's more like A, B, A prime, but we have these two loops plus this added stuff, and then we have this here. So one thing I like to do with this ABA form is you make it so that you have your second A section includes something from the B section, right? So you're not just, copy paste. You're thinking, how can I make this new section in the middle? What idea can I take from this section in the middle into this section at the end? So subtle stuff, it's not going to be really glaringly obvious stuff, but these reverses, right? These reverses aren't here at the beginning, but they are there at the end. So then it sounds fresh, right? When you come back here to this section, it doesn't sound exactly, this part does, right? This part is basically exactly the same, but it's not gonna be overwhelmingly boring because you're not hearing the exact same thing. And another subtle thing that I added was, this is really subtle, but down here, look at the bass drum line here. It's just one and, right? It's just playing on beats on the one and then the and, right? Every time. Here, we got one and then we have one E and. One E and. One and. One E and. And then at the end, when we come back, we bring that here. One and. One E and. There we go. Subtle thing to bring into it, but I like doing that because I think it adds a little more flavor and it makes it a little more fresh. It's also something a bunch of my composition teachers at Berkeley taught me when I was doing classical composition was if you repeat something, make sure it doesn't repeat in the exact same way. So I still try and do that even if it's not classical music and it's not orchestral music, because I think it's a good idea, right? You kind of want to change something every 4 or 8 measures. Some of the weird stuff is it's in 4/4, but it's a 7 measure phrase, kind of an uncommon phrase length to deal with. So let's listen to it. We have, right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 measure 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then we come back to the beginning of this phrase again. Each chord lasts for 2 beats, except for 2 bars. Sorry, each chord lasts for 2 bars, except for the last one. And then we keep that here in the middle thing. So it does have this weird, lilt to it, where it sounds like it's almost being cut off, but not quite. Yeah, yeah, that's basically it. That's the song. Sometimes I make instruments and I never use them. So let's take a listen to it again, see if we can pay attention to pay attention to all that while we're listening. Let's see if we can notice that ABA form and all that jazz. All right, so that is the song. That's all we got for this Reason Rundown. So that's it for this video, our Reason Rundown for Caffeinated. I hope you found it useful. I hope you learned something about music. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you did enjoy it. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace. And quick reminder, go check it out on Bandcamp. It's $1. It'll help me out a little bit. Link in the description.